So the big question is this: how do most agents who don't have access to the secrets that the top agents in our industry hoard to themselves grow and prosper in today's real estate environment? That's the question. And this video podcast is the answer. I'm Pat Hyben, and welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. And now, for the review of the day. Got a 4-star review from Connie. Pat's interview skills are lacking, and he comes off as condescending, but what makes me listen to him all the time are his guests. They are 5-star guests. Keep the comments coming, guys. I love them. And remember, I eat feedback for breakfast, so give me a 1-star review if you want, or a 5-star review if you want. I don't care. And the more reviews we get, the better guests we get. So please, subscribe first, and then leave us a review or wherever you're listening. All right, Rockstar Nation, I got a great returning guest. Keri Shull is here, and she is about to pop. She has a baby due in like 9 days, and she is taking time out of her super busy day today to go over something that's really important. As she has completely revolutionized and changed the way she does business in the last year after meeting Gary Vee and Grant Cardone and some other people that gave her some super advice on social media. And we're going to talk to Keri today about what is new, different, exciting that you probably have not heard of yet. And I'm excited about it. So Keri, welcome back to Real Estate Rockstars.
Thank you so much, Pat. I'm excited to be here, and this is one of my favorite topics.
Well, let's jump right into it now. Quick. You told me before we got on to just last week you put 25 houses under contract last week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's been a really busy time for our team. We're crushing it, so we're excited.
So, how many deals do you think you'll do this year?
1,000. We'll exceed 1,000.
1,000. And what'd you do
Yes.
last year?
We did 481.
What? You did 481 and you'll do 1,000 this year? What makes you think so?
Well, part of it is the be the mayor of your town strategy, honestly, Pat. We've just really focused on hiring the right people. So we've hired 30 more people from the same, actually 33 from the same time last year.
Wow.
We just had we do quarterly offsite meetings with our team, and we review all of our numbers and kind of where we are. And that was a big one that stood out to me. So we now have 73 people on the team, and a lot of our people are coming out of training. So we don't have their production yet on the scoreboard. But we see that they're coming. There's about 10 agents that are going to be starting to produce in the next couple of weeks. So that's a really exciting change. And then from the same, when we look at where we were and who was producing at the end of last year, we've just added a ton of talented people.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And I know you're going to do it. And all the while having your third child in 5 years, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have it any other way, though.
It's so fun. It's absolute chaos all the time, but very fun.
Okay, so let's talk about be the mayor of your town, right? Tell me, first of all, the transition that you took, like the day that you woke up and you said, you know what, I know how to do this now. I'm going to change.
Well, so I'm going to back up and just talk about the conversation I had with Gary Vaynerchuk and why that was so meaningful to how we did business and how we thought about things.
Yes.
So, and I'm going to go back even a little bit further first. When you think about social media, I think at this point, all agents would say that's a valuable component of your business. And that's an area where you can gain traction. And if you do it well, it can have an impact, right? I think we're all at the point where we would say that. But if we go back to how I used to think about it, I used to just focus on talking about houses. right? I was doing, it's not that I never brought value, but I have some old school videos. If you guys want to just crack up, I will send a video reel of some of my original videos. They were so horrendous, and I would put them on social media and one person would watch them, you know? So I came from this mindset where I was still trying to figure out the true ROI on social media, right? Was it
Yeah.
even worth it?
Well, right.
And
It's hard to do unless somebody just Facebook messengers you and says, "I want to buy or sell a house." So okay. So keep going. I understand what you're saying.
yeah, so then you fast forward, and Dan and I were fortunate enough to be able to have a private conversation with Gary Vanderchuk and really pick his brain. And what stood out to me is he said, look, if you want to dominate your market, you're not competing with other agents, you're competing with the media. And the way to dominate a market is to become the mayor of your town. And so the specific advice he gave us in order to execute on that strategy was find the paper, or in our case, we really focused on a blog because we felt like that was online and giving us critical information about how people were engaging. So with a newspaper, and I love his advice and it's very smart, but I think there's a component beyond that that's even more important to consider. So he says, go to the newspaper, figure out the stories, figure out what people are talking about. The advantage to a blog is you actually get to see how many people are commenting on the story. What is the back and forth that's going on so you can play into the controversy.
So
Okay.
yeah, so that's great. I mean, find the controversy, which a lot of people, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what media is. They try to find the controversy and they try to, stir the pot as much as possible. Now, here's a curious thing. I love the analogy of mayor of your town because it actually, you don't have to explain it, right? Of course you're not the mayor, but you want to act like you are the mayor. Now, it who is there a real mayor of your town, like a political mayor?
I'm so not political. I believe there is, but I
So
don't
you
even
don't
know
even know.
there. I don't. Which for me, the strategy. Once
Yeah.
you understand the controversy, this is the key that I think hundreds of agents have heard Gary Vanderchuk say, "Be the mayor of your town." And
Mm.
there's probably only a few in the country who have executed on it. And so here's what I would say. It's important to then figure out the parallels of how you can monetize what you're doing, right? So if you go out and tell stories about what the community cares about, the cool thing about that strategy is you're hitting different buyers, sellers, and people where they are. So not everyone's a buyer or a seller. So our old way of doing social media was only focusing on the buyers and the sellers. But the problem is we weren't connecting with the rest of our community. And I'm going to keep saying, like, are you with me to make sure you
Yeah,
can
yeah, no
hear
problem.
me?
Well, here's a question. Like, tell me what you did today and what you did yesterday to give us an example of what a typical day in the mayor of the town is like. For you. Like, what are you saying? What are you talking about? Give us some examples.
Well, so when we talk about today, I spent my morning in the doctor's office. So I'm not talking about that on social media. But yesterday we had a team meeting. So if you're interested in seeing how we use that team meeting to generate media, to generate attention, I encourage you, just Google me. It's Keri Shull, right? Check out what we're doing on LinkedIn. Check out what we're doing on Facebook. Check out what we're doing on Instagram. That'll give you a good indication how we leveraged our quarterly offsite meeting for social, right?
And
So
would you say you just had a video guy there, and then when somebody an agent asked a question, he was videoing him, and if it was a good question and a good answer, you clipped it and put it there.
Well, so that's all in process. So you
Yeah.
get to see us do everything real time. Some of the stuff that we're doing. So that's some of the stories that were live yesterday are on social media, but over the next 24 to 48 hours, that's when everything else will roll out. Right?
Wow.
So it's a perfect time to see how we leverage that.
And I've seen some videos of you literally standing there like a reporter with a big microphone, like you worked for a news station, and you're standing in front of a fire truck, or you're standing out at a busy mall or something, and you're reporting. Tell me about that.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you about the very first story I did that was that style. It was on bird scooters, right?
So an agent was advertising on the bird scooter, or on the bird scooter website, or what? Tell me about
No.
that. Why they said they already had an agent.
Yeah. So this was actually the blog. One of the things that's important when you're using the Be the Mayor of Your Town strategy, you have to get a lot of eyes on you and a lot of attention, right? So what I was trying to do is take the stories we were going to produce to use on social media and actually get them featured in this blog that I knew hundreds of thousands of people in Arlington would see. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So there was another real estate agent that had the exclusive for real estate agents in that blog.
Oh,
And
wow.
I said, hey, no problem. I won't talk about real estate. And they're like, huh, okay, sure. So they gave me the column. And the first story we did, the reason we chose bird scooters is because we could see they were everywhere in our community and everyone was talking about them. So when Gary gave us his advice originally, he said, an example is the town pothole, right? The thing that irritates everybody that they're trying to figure out how to handle, like they all know about this. And so you become the inside scoop when you know what their pain is. So what I was seeing is mass controversy over the bird scooters.
Yeah,
And
find the town pothole. Find the town pothole. That's the lesson, right?
Yes, yeah. So it just so happened that the bird scooter, some people were saying people are going to die. This is so dangerous. It's cluttering up the sidewalks. Other people are saying this is getting people out of their cars. It's amazing. They get to be at work a lot faster. More people are using public transportation. So there was very polarizing opinions. So I called a guy that I had found out blacked out. He actually fell off the bird scooter and completely blacked out. His wife and daughter were searching for him for hours. And I called them and I said, hey, I'm doing a story for Arlington Now, not, hey, I'm Keri Shull, the real estate agent, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing a story for Arlington Now on the bird scooter, and I understand your family was impacted, and I'd like to come over and interview you. So I interviewed the husband, who literally woke up in an ambulance and didn't know his name. Then I interviewed his wife, and she's like, ban the bird scooters, And then I'm interviewing people next to the metro with my little blue microphone, standing there just interviewing random public people. And people are like, the bird scooters are the best thing ever. Like, I've started commuting every day on the metro and it's great. It gets me outside, right? So there's this polarizing opinion. So to give you perspective on why that mattered in my real estate business, it wasn't like I said, hey, I did this story, so come buy a house with me. And you guys can watch the story. I'm happy to give you the link so you can see it. But the real estate guy, I monitored his results versus my results in the very first article once I took Gary's advice. I had 122 comments in like a day. That guy had none. I had hundreds of people view this story. Who knows if anyone read that guy's blog article, right? And I also had video in mind. So people, it's public interest, but they're also getting to know me. So let me fast forward to the results, because some people who are listening to this are like, I don't know if I really would be interested in this. I don't know if it would matter, etc. Right? We all know that.
Right.
So let me take you 90 days after I met with Gary. My best December in history, I had sold 20 homes.
Got it.
Okay. 90 days after I started executing on this strategy, we sold 83 houses. We did over
83 houses in a December?
In December. It was the best month of our year in December.
So an agent was advertising on the Bird Scooter or on the Bird Scooter website or what? Tell me about
No.
that. Why they said they already had an agent?
Yeah, so this was actually the blog. One of the things that's important when you're using the Be the Mayor of Your Town strategy, you have to get a lot of eyes on you and a lot of attention, right? So what I was trying to do is take the stories we were going to produce to use on social media and actually get them featured in this blog that I knew hundreds of thousands of people in Arlington would see. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So there was another real estate agent that had the exclusive for real estate agents in that blog.
Oh,
And
wow.
I said, "Hey, no problem. I won't talk about real estate." And they're like, "Huh, okay, sure." So they gave me the column. And the first story we did, the reason we chose bird scooters is because we could see they were everywhere in our community and everyone was talking about them. So when Gary gave us his advice originally, he said, an example is the town pothole, right? The thing that irritates everybody that they're trying to figure out how to handle, like they all know about this. And so you become the inside scoop when you know what their pain is. So what I was seeing is mass controversy over the bird scooters. And
Yeah, find the town pothole. Find the town pothole. That's the lesson, right?
Yes, yeah. So it just so happened that the bird scooter, some people were saying people are going to die. This is so dangerous. It's cluttering up the sidewalks. Other people are saying this is getting people out of their cars. It's amazing. They get to be at work a lot faster. More people are using public transportation. So there was very polarizing opinions. So I called a guy that I had found out blacked out. He actually fell off the bird scooter and completely blacked out. His wife and daughter were searching for him for hours. And I called them and I said, "Hey, I'm doing a story for Arlington Now," not, "Hey, I'm Keri Shull, the real estate agent," right?
Yeah.
I'm doing a story for Arlington Now on the bird scooter, and I understand your family was impacted, and I'd like to come over and interview you. So I interviewed the husband, who literally woke up in an ambulance and didn't know his name. Then I interviewed his wife, and she's like, "Ban the bird scooters," And then I'm interviewing people next to the metro with my little blue microphone standing there, just interviewing random public people. And people are like, "The bird scooters are the best thing ever. Like, I've started commuting every day on the metro and it's great. It gets me outside," right? So there's this polarizing opinion. So to give you perspective on why that mattered in my real estate business, it wasn't like I said, "Hey, I did this story, so come buy a house with me." And you guys can watch the story. I'm happy to give you the link so you can see it. But the real estate guy, I monitored his results versus my results in the very first article once I took Gary's advice. I had 122 comments in like a day. That guy had none. I had hundreds of people view this story. Who knows if anyone read that guy's blog article, right? And I also had video in mind. So people, it's public interest, but they're also getting to know me. So let me fast forward to the results, because some people who are listening to this are like, I don't know if I really would be interested in this. I don't know if it would matter, etc. Right? We all know that.
Right.
So let me take you 90 days after I met with Gary. My best December in history, I had sold 20 homes.
Got it.
Okay. 90 days after I started executing on this strategy, we sold 83 houses. We did over
83 houses in a December?
In December. It was the best month of our year in December.
Tribeofmillionaires.com. Guys, write that down. Rockstar Nation got a free special offer for you. Now, I've just written a book, and it's just been published. Co-authored it with David Osborne, who's been on this show multiple times. If you don't know David, he is one of the top execs at Keller Williams Real Estate, was personally mentored for the last 2 decades by Gary Keller himself, and he's in all kinds of businesses. His bio and explanation and everything is in this book. But anyways, David and I got together. We decided to write a book. We called it Tribe of Millionaires. And I guarantee you it's going to change your life. To find out more, just go to tribeofmillionaires.com. We're going to give it to you absolutely free. Only thing we ask in return is, of course, number one, you pay the shipping. Not a big deal. But number two, that you go on Amazon and write us a review. We're really looking to get an incredible amount of reviews. And because of that, we're giving this book away for free. Go to tribeofmillionaires.com today. Hey, real estate agents and rock stars. If you're getting value out of the content in this episode, make sure you like the video and subscribe to this channel. Also, click the little bell icon to be notified about upcoming episodes. And I would also love it if you left a comment and shared the most impactful tips and tactics you've learned from the knowledge shared in this episode, or even maybe make a suggestion requesting a topic of what you'd like to learn in future episodes. I welcome any feedback below. Now, back to the episode.
Okay. So we quadrupled our business, and it was a combination, because not only was the Be the Mayor of the Town working for generating leads, it was also working for recruiting. So you heard me say earlier, hey, we're going to do 1,000 because we have 33 more team members and we're hiring 10 more this month. Part of us being able to do that is now focusing on video and getting in front of the people that we want to attract for our team. So if you're curious about how we're doing that, if you're a team leader out there and you're saying, how do I recruit the perfect assistant? How do I recruit the perfect ISA? How do I just look at what we're doing, because it's working really well using that exact same technique and strategy.
Yeah, it makes sense, right, guys? And it's easy to emulate. Like, it's all public, right? And Keri is not saying she's going to hide this from anybody. All you got to do is go to her, website, Google her, like she said, and it'll be there. Google Keri Shull Bird Scooter, and you're going to see it. I'm going to put links today to all of her stuff as well, but it's easier to find just by Googling Keri Shull Bird Scooter or whatever, and Keri Shull quarterly office meeting, whatever. So okay, so what social media platform do you think works the best, Keri?
So it's interesting, because I believe it depends on your intention, right? And who you're trying to target. So if I'm trying to target a move down buyer, right now I would be targeting them on Facebook. That's another lesson. I went to Gary V's Agent 2021 this year, and he talked about how on Facebook, that segment of the market is so inexpensive to target because people aren't targeting them yet. The other thing that's amazing about that segment
Wait a minute, slow that down. What segment of the market? Facebook?
No, senior citizens. If you're trying to target a move down buyer.
A move down buyer.
Yep, I would go to Facebook for that.
Facebook
because they're not on Instagram yet, right? In general, right? And if you're trying to target a millennial, you should go to Instagram. So I think you have to be very intentional about who you're targeting and where to maximize your ad spend.
So who would you say you're targeting?
Well, it depends. I'm targeting a lot of people. So I'm actually building out some ClickFunnels right now. And we just did Russell Brunson's ClickFunnel event. Oh no, it's that same loud car. So we just did the ClickFunnel event, and what we learned from that, now we have a funnel that we're focusing on for buyers, one for sellers. We're dialing it down to someone who has a home that's a fixer-upper that they need to stage or they need to renovate. We have another funnel that we're doing that's just focused on people who want a home evaluation. And we have one funnel that we released that's for move-up buyers. We just released that funnel, and already in 12 days, we've got 24 leads for move-up buyers.
Okay, so let's talk about this, okay? So explain to us what your definition of a lead is for a move-up buyer, and how the funnel works. Like explain how the funnel works step by step. So someone listening might want to build the same mousetrap in Tupelo, Mississippi?
Sure. So it's for us, we used to do it on a landing page. Okay. And what we found is that we didn't have as much flexibility in making offers. So when I say making an offer, we're trying to build a self liquidating funnel that's
A
monetized based.
self-liquidating funnel. Explain that.
Sure. So we're trying to be able to monetize what we're offering the buyer or the seller so that that pays for our leads so we can scale on a massive level. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So imagine if your leads were free and we're rolling out a book for buyers that we're offering, and we're doing a free book plus shipping funnel, right?
So what you're saying by self-liquidating, the cost of the the postage that people pay or whatever money they pay to you pays for the ads and the cost to run the ads, thereby it's self-liquidating. And everything else is gravy, i.e.
Right.
the commission.
Yes, yes. Because then instead of focusing on just a few segment markets where we're running these funnels, we can really blow it out and focus on every neighborhood in our surrounds. And that's why we're recruiting so heavily, because our intention is to combine that. So really what we're talking about is there's be the mayor of your town, and a lot of people think of that in an organic nature. And we are really actively doing the organic side. The cool thing is you guys can also click, because now the new policy on Facebook, you can see every ad that I'm running on Facebook. So what I would encourage you to do is go into my Facebook, figure out what I'm doing, but don't just look at one piece of it and assume, oh, if I run this ad, it's going to work. You have to follow it through and figure out, well, what happens once I put in my information, what happens on the funnel? So not that I want all of you clicking on all of my ads, because then I'm going to pay a fortune for all of you clicking, but I'm happy to share that. I'm happy to share what we're doing so you can see it, and you can see the exact ads that I'm running and the funnels. So is
So the
that making
book is
sense,
what is
Pat?
the it makes a lot of sense. So like what is the name of the book?
It's called Hyper Fast Buyer, and it
Hyper
goes with,
fast buyer. Okay.
yes, yep. And so that's basically in the same series as the book that my husband wrote, the Hyper Local Hyper Fast Real Estate Agent. But the book is really just focused for buyers, and it's walking them through everything they need to know about how to get priority access to houses, how to buy houses, how everything works. And so and how to compete in a competitive market. So our market right now is really competitive. So it's pretty cool that they're getting access to all this information, and we're just telling them in the advertisement in the funnel, hey, we're going to give you access to all of this that we've learned in selling thousands of homes.
Fascinating, fascinating. And then they get that, and then you figure they wouldn't get that if they weren't at all interested in buying a house. Why would they get a book called Hyper Fast Buyer? And then you're just following up, and then they
Yep.
become buyers. Yeah, one more way. Now, do you have an idea for this funnel that you're building for sellers as well?
Yes. So for sellers, we have different entry points. So the home evaluation is a classic, right?
Yeah,
Right
of course.
now, we've gotten our seller leads down to $30 or less per lead, which if you think about what the average agent is paying on Zillow right now, and I know it's different in every market, in our market, it's etched up to around $180 a lead.
$180 a lead, and
So
that's under the old system. Under the new system, if you're it's 30%. So if your average commission's $9,000, it costs 30. It costs 3,000 a lead, and you got it for 30, which is what 0.10% of 1% or whatever. What?
yeah, it's
So what
crazy,
is it?
right?
Is it? Are you having them raise their hand on the old school CMA? I'll give you get your value now.
So the ad doesn't look like the old school ad. The ad is actually like a map of the target demographic that we're targeting. And then we say the highest priced home in da-da-da zip code or in Alexandria City or wherever we're targeting that the map shows sold for, and then you simply just put the fact, what's the highest price that sold in that month, and you say, see what your home is worth. Because when you target them with the highest price point home, strangely, I didn't think this would work. This is just testing, right? Strangely, their curiosity is piqued if the price of that high home is higher than they were thinking, right? So then there's the map and they get to click to see what their property is worth, and they recognize the map because it's where their house is.
Right, right. And they can see what all their neighbors are worth and everything like that. And then how do you get their email and like how do you get them to raise their hand and say,
Well, what's
I'm
amazing,
thinking about selling.
the Facebook piece, it's really cool to do it on there because they're just logging in with their Facebook information and it's transferring. But when you're going on a Google, we also do a lot with Google AdWords still. And when you're doing it that way, they have to fill out the form. But they'll do that because in order to get their home valuation, they have to put their address, right? So it's like a reverse. On most things, you ask for their name and their email. On this, you ask for their address so they can get their property report, and then you need their email to send it to them.
Good one. Good one, yeah. And then you just follow up on
Very
them
sneaky.
as seller leads, right?
Yes,
Yeah, no,
exactly.
I mean it's high tech. It's high tech, and it's what people are responding to today. Because quite frankly, the people out there, they're sick of the same old ways that agents are getting leads. They understand how all these back end websites work on a listing, and they're savvy enough now that they're putting you in the spam bucket right away if you email them back, and or smart enough about like, I'm going to just try a different app or a different way that I don't have to give my name and email when I want more information about the property.
That's right. Yep.
Hey, real estate rockstars, this is Pat Hyben, and before we jump back into today's content, I want to tell you about an extraordinary offer from an extraordinary company. I'm talking about My Outdesk. If you haven't heard of My Outdesk, basically they're a virtual assistant company, a VA company that specializes in virtual assistants for real estate agents. Yeah, I'm talking about transaction coordinators, marketing assistants. I'm talking about ISAs, inside sales agents that prospect thousands and thousands of seller leads and buyer lead follow-ups. I mean, these guys are trained in this stuff specifically. You're not using a company that doesn't know or understand real estate sales. 4 out of 5 of the top teams in the US use My Outdesk for their virtual assistants. And because I know the owner, Daniel Ramsey, I've known him for over a decade, and I know how awesome and incredible this company is and how it saves agents thousands and thousands of dollars every single week and makes them thousands and thousands of more every single week, we're going to give you a $400 coupon off of your first month of a virtual assistant and give you a free book entitled Scaling Your Business with Virtual Professionals. So you can like read it and look into it before you decide anything. It's called Scaling Your Business with Virtual Professionals. And you can get it real easy. All you got to do is text the word Hyben, H-I-B-A-N, to 31996. That's H-I-B-A-N to 31996. And download your free book, Scaling Your Business with Virtual Professionals. And don't forget to mention also that you get a $400 discount, which will give you a coupon for that when you download the book. Thank you, guys, and I hope you enjoy and make a ton of money using My Outdesk. Hey, real estate agents and rock stars. If you're getting value out of the content in this episode, make sure you like the video and subscribe to this channel. Also, click the little bell icon to be notified about upcoming episodes. And I would also love it if you left a comment and shared the most impactful tips and tactics you've learned from the knowledge shared in this episode, or even maybe make a suggestion requesting a topic of what you'd like to learn in future episodes. I welcome any feedback below. Now, back to the episode.
Totally agree. So going back to the overall topic of be the mayor of your town, what I would say we've done differently is we've combined the organic side with paid online advertising. So I was a huge fan of Billy Jean. He's somebody that I follow. Do you know who Billy is?
Yeah, he goes by Billy Jean is marketing. You guys can Google that too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. I idolized him. So a very pregnant person. I saw him get off the stage speaking at a mastermind I was at, and I was like sprinting over. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get there first because I want to hire him. So yeah, I ended up getting to go spend some time with Billy. He flew out. He spoke at an event we had for Hyperfast Agent. And then I got to go visit his office, and he is the king of online paid advertising. You guys have to watch some of this stuff. So what else? The other piece of being the mayor of our town that I learned with the paid advertising side, that just makes your results happen faster, right? If I were just doing this organic, I don't think I would have had the same exponential growth in a 90-day period. I think over time, people would have noticed me and I would have gotten attention. But what I learned from Billy was how to do my ads a little different. So if you watch my ads now, I use a lot of props, right? There's one recently where I'm like holding a vodka bottle and I'm throwing a lemon. And I'm like, you know why working with the average agent sucks? And I like catch the lemon. And I'm pregnant and I'm holding a vodka bottle. So if the noise isn't on, people are like, what the hell's up with this lady?
What is Keri's lost her mind? Yeah, interesting. So okay. So what was the point of that? Was that just an attention getter? I mean, it was an attention getter, but what was
it was totally an attention getter. Then I talked about how we get them priority access, and that's why working with us is like a lemon drop. And I like put the vodka in the camera with the lemon, right? So I'm using the same ideas that I used to convey on video, but I'm just making them more interesting. Right? Because before I was so boring, like everybody has heard about this value or that value. But if I include it in something that's actually cool and interesting, people are naturally drawn to it and they're going to watch. So that's a big piece of what we've been doing differently. And again, you guys can see every single ad we have running just by going to Facebook. It's super simple.
Yeah. And so what percentage of your ads would you say are on Facebook versus Instagram versus Twitter versus YouTube?
So we've been testing, I would say on Google, we actually have a little bit higher percentage of conversions that are working faster. So when I say that, you have to think about where someone is in the sales cycle, right? Are they ready to transact quickly or are they a little bit longer term? In our opinion, from the testing we've done, we've actually been able to get people who are motivated to do something faster from Google AdWords because they're actually keying in something that's making them find you. Where a lot of times on Facebook, we find that they're earlier in the sales cycle. There's still value to those leads if you have the right follow-up sequences and the right automation in place to make sure, and ISAs, which we could talk about ISAs for another hour. So you have to have those systems in place to leverage and harvest those precious leads down the road. But we've slanted our spend more heavily towards AdWords because we want the now business to get it done in the spring. My guess is when we're in the winter, we're going to change the allocation of the budget because we could bring down our lead costs by generating leads that are further out. The now business can cost more, if that makes sense. So even when you're looking at a Zillow or a Realtor.com lead, you're paying more for that, but they're going to transact sooner because they're actively out looking at houses and scheduling showings.
Yeah, so you're essentially competing on the internet with Zillow and truly on Realtor, not necessarily on social media. And then you have your funnels that the people go through the funnels. And there's videos, guys, just so you understand this, is videos and there's photos and things all in a funnel. If you don't know what a funnel is, it's a series of videos and that lead to a purchase of something. And so her videos are not necessarily always on a social media platform. They're on the internet, just like Zillow is, just like Google is, just like,
Yep,
realtor.com is. Very good.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
just like the real mayor is, or the blogger in your neighborhood, or the blogger in your zip code, or who's ever doing the social media, who's ever doing the news in your neighborhood, that's who Keri's competing with.
Well, and then once I have them, I can retarget them. So if I get them on Google, I might retarget them on Facebook, right? Because I have their information. So I can stay in front of them in a social setting, I can stay in front of them in a search setting. So my ability to convert them long term, where it used to depend on how good was my email, was my team calling. Now I can add another element of that, which is retargeting them, getting back in front of them over time. And so we're shooting different retargeting ads. Those retargeting ads are very focused on, okay, someone didn't take action when they were on our funnel, on that landing page. So what do we need to say to break through their limiting beliefs that's causing them not to do something?
I love it. I love it. Well, this has been great, Keri. I mean, this is all meat and potatoes. Everybody should be doing what Keri is doing. And like I had said, if I were starting over again, and if I was, doing some business in today's real estate world, because what I used to do is a lot of creative television commercials. And I think I would be doing exactly what Keri is doing on a high level instead of, television commercials. It's just today's television commercials is social media. You know what I mean? They're just and funnels. So I highly recommend everybody go online and just find her funnels. Do what we call hacking, which is you hack them, you follow them, you take notes, and just don't buy her book.
Yeah. Yeah, don't click on our ads. Just ask if you want to see the funnels. And we'll have Pat post them so you can see the ads, but you can also see the funnels to get information about how we're doing it on the back end.
That's awesome. And Keri, as you know, everybody comes on, brings a free gift. Is that link your free gift, or do you have anything else that you would want to donate to the Rockstar Nation?
Well, that's a great question. So we actually have a course that's called Be the Mayor of Your Town. We will let everybody
Wow.
check that course out, and we'll do that for free. From whenever this airs, we'll give everybody like 48 hours to watch as much as they want of that course. Does that
That's
sound good?
awesome. Yeah, that sounds brilliant. So, guys, we're going to just put a bunch of links. Just go to hybendigital.com/. Well, here's the thing. I mean, you've been on the show so many times. I don't know what number we're on, to be honest with you, and you and Dan have been on. So I'm going to just put hybendigital.com/Keri Mayer. hybendigital.com/Keri Mayer, and it'll just be KeriMayor. KeriMayor. That way you won't get it mixed up with any of her previous episodes. Keri, you're my favorite guest. I have to say, I don't want to. I probably got a ton of other guests. I'm offending right now, but I'll say you're my favorite guest so far in 2019. So thank you so much for coming on today, and
thanks, Pat.
I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. I know you're about to
You're just
pop.
saying that to make me feel good because I'm pregnant. Thank you.
Thanks, and guys, thanks for putting up with Keri walking around. She has to get a certain amount of steps in to keep the baby healthy, and she certainly did that today while you guys were listening to her value bombs here.
Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate you being patient.
Thanks, Keri. I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. Rockstar Nation, thank you for listening to Real Estate Rockstars. Listen, I need a favor. If you find this free content helpful, if you find our downloadable items from each guest helpful, please, I need you to pull out your pointing finger. Yes, the one finger that points at people, and hit subscribe. Yes, subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the better we look in the ratings, and the easier it is to get guests like Robert Kiyosaki, Barbara Corcoran, all the players that are on $1 million listing in the different cities. All that stuff makes it easier the more subscribers we get, so please subscribe. And listen, there's a lot of places you can leave comments. There's a lot of places you can like. We're on Facebook. We have an Instagram page. Instagram page is I am Pat Hyben. The Facebook is Real Estate Rockstars Radio. Feel free to leave us comments there. The most popular form of commenting seems to happen on YouTube. Yes, for whatever reason, it's a very open environment. So just go to YouTube and go to Real Estate Rockstars Radio. Leave us comments there. Some of them we will read on the show. We love your feedback. So thanks, guys, and I hope you are having a great day. Oh, and also, listen, if you're going to subscribe and you haven't already left a review on iTunes, please do that too. Have a great day, and thanks so much, Rockstar Nation. I really appreciate you.